Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to my channel. And today I just want us to talk about artists who are funded by the record labels to replace some of our favorite artists in the music industry. When Neo came out in the mid 2000s, he was introduced to us as this guy who sings R&B and who woos women all over the world with his voice and his lyrics. And what we don't know is that Neo was modeled after the famous R&B sensation Joe. Between the late 90s and the early 2000s, we had an amazing R&B singer by the name Joe who sang infectious R&B songs, and throughout the 90s and the early 2000s he was always on our radios and always on our TV screens, and he did such an amazing job and set the blueprint for R&B singers. Neo was actually modeled to take over from Joe. Mariah Carey ruled the 90s and was the highest paid artist in the 90s up until 2000. As the 2000s began, we saw Mariah Carey's career kind of go under, and there's so many artists like J-Lo who was destined to replace her. But the artist who has the most significant resemblance to Mariah's career is Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande was packaged just like Mariah Carey. Her aesthetic is also very similar to Mariah Carey because Mariah Carey is actually half black, half white, and when you look at Ariana Grande, she's Italian but she looks mixed. The labels really did their best to make sure that Ariana Grande fit the mold, and for a while this brought tension between the two. However, they put their differences aside. In the mid 2000s, we saw Nicki Minaj emerge, and there had been a 10-year gap in the rap industry where we had not seen a female rapper. And when Kim went to jail and Foxy stopped releasing music, there was a huge gap, and that gap wasn't filled for a really long time until Nicki Minaj came. And Nicki Minaj took that genre and made it her own and took it to a whole new level. And so because of this dominance and because she was making so much money in rap, every label wanted a Nicki Minaj, and so Atlantic Records decided they were going to replace Nicki Minaj in the industry with Cardi B. However, things just did not go as planned because Cardi B failed to replace Nicki Minaj in the industry. She's just that good that she cannot be easily replaced. However, Atlantic's plan did not work, and Cardi hasn't been able to take Nicki Minaj's spot. In the early 2000s, Ja Rule was everywhere. He was the most famous rapper on the planet, and he was very unique because he could sing, and it was a very good transition because we had transitioned from gangster rap in the late 90s to rappers who could actually sing and rap at the same time and sing about love. And so Ja Rule was extremely famous, but unfortunately Murder Inc. went bankrupt, and this saw the rise of 50 Cent, and 50 Cent took over from Ja Rule, and 50 Cent dominated until Kanye came along, and after Kanye came along, then Lil Wayne, and now Drake. We have labels signing singers and rappers just to have a slice of the pie and to make sure that they are profitable and they stay in business. Lupe Fiasco is an amazing conscious rapper who was brought in after Nas. Lupe Fiasco dominated that lane for a while, but the biggest issue that his label had at the time, which was Atlantic, is that they wanted to commercialize Lupe Fiasco's craft, and Lupe Fiasco was not going for that. He wanted to be as authentic as possible, and so when Kendrick Lamar came along, Kendrick Lamar was willing to go commercial, and for that reason we saw Kendrick Lamar become more successful than Lupe. Mary J. Blige was introduced to us in the mid-90s, and since then there's so many artists who've been signed to replace her in the industry, one of them being Faith Evans. We saw Keisha Cole, and after her we saw K. Michelle. So Mary J. Blige actually had an issue with other labels trying to find a new her, and she vocalized it. I kind of feel like you cannot really replace an artist because they will always be unique and they will always have their own blueprint. When it comes to Beyonce, she's definitely one of the greatest artists we have today. However, this hasn't prevented labels from trying to create their own Beyonce. We saw this when RCA signed No Money. However, things just didn't go as planned, and many believe that No Money is now shelved, but she has always been considered a triple threat, and many believed that she was going to take Beyonce's spot. Then we have Columbia Records, who signed Chloe Bailey to take over that lane, but Chloe Bailey hasn't been able to reach that level, especially especially when it comes to selling records. Future ended up replacing T-Pain. So far, we've not gotten the new Future in quotes. Everybody in the industry is very different and very unique and very authentic in who they are. By trying to emulate another artist, this is not really a good idea, because you rather win by being yourself than by winning being someone else. So this video is not meant to bash artists who came before and paved the way for so many artists we see today, but it is meant to pay homage to them and to just give them a nod, because they open doors for the artists we enjoy today. I'd like to give a shout out to John Mangerere, who is an arbitrator based in the US. He is actually one of the best arbitrators in the world. He has been able to solve so many disputes all over the world, so I'd urge you to check out his work. He's a giver, and he's given back to so many young people in society by training arbitrators and helping communities learn about conflict resolution instead of going to court. He's a true giver, and I'd urge you to check out some of the work he's done. I'd also like to give a shout out to Toastmasters. Toastmasters is a club that is over 100 years old and is based all over the world. We have Toastmasters US, Toastmasters Europe, Toastmasters Asia, Toastmasters Australia, and Toastmasters Africa. And this is actually a club that you get to join. You get to learn so many different skills, grow your talents, and it's a really amazing place to be. So I'd urge you to check out Toastmasters in your local area. With that being said, thank you guys for watching. I love you guys so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.